Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the gameplay series on my channel. And today I'll be doing a few attacks, some base design, and we'll just end off with a few upgrades. So as you guys can see, I've got a whole bunch of graves on my base. I've been getting attacked a lot. So what I did was I just started off with putting some of those workers to get rid of some of those debris on the field, and that'll just allow me to start redesigning my base once they're free. So what I'm gonna do is just start off with clearing some of those graves, and we're gonna start moving on the new base design. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is just speed this up a bit because this would take forever if I didn't. So what I'm gonna try to do here is just move around my defenses so that I've got most of my base covered. This base wasn't too bad, but I wasn't doing too well with it. I was losing too many battles and losing a lot of resources. So what I want to do is just spread them out so they cover a larger area of the base, and just basically protect my resources, the storages and the collectors a little better. So I went ahead and skipped over some of that stuff so you guys didn't have to watch me move these buildings around. The base is pretty much done now. I'm just gonna finish up with some of these other buildings on the outside. And what I want to do is just spread my gold mines and oil rigs around the base so that anyone trying to attack my base would have to spend time and units basically bringing these down before they get to the center of the base. Doing this also basically gives me the chance, my defensive units get the chance to basically attack these units and try to take them down before they get to the rest of the storages. So what I did here was basically spread my defensive buildings around the base. I've got my mortars on the outside on either end. I've got my flame towers in the center. I didn't want to leave them on the outside because they can get brought down much easier than the mortars. And this way, even if someone tries to attack my base and gets to the center, I still have some strong defensive units which can bring their units down. I've also got my watchtowers and cannons spread around the base, just trying to basically maximize on my attacking capabilities. So let's just jump into this first attack, and what I'm gonna try to do here today is basically collect a bunch of gold and oil. I just want to get started working on those rally points, get them upgraded so I can start increasing my army size. And what I want to do after that is possibly, if I have enough gold, maybe even start working on that Command Center 7 upgrade. So let's see what we can do here. So looking at this first base, we got a pretty big amount of oil and a decent amount of gold as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and start attacking this base. There's a bunch of freebies on the outside, so we should be able to beat it and get at least 1 star. As always, we're only after the resources. If we can get the victory, that's great. So looking around the base again, we've got a couple of mortars and flame towers on the outside. I'm gonna go ahead and start attacking from the side of the mortars so I can bring them down. If I started attacking on the other side, the mortars would be able to reach me. This way I'm only taking basically hits from the mortars and not the flame towers as well. So as always, I just went ahead and dropped in my gunners. They've already taken care of that first mortar, and I changed up my army composition a bit for today's attacks. I'm gonna start using some of those pyros. I don't like that they're only at level 3. They don't have so much health, but they still do a ton of damage, and hopefully they can help me take down some of these bases today. So as you guys can see, I've already taken care of the top left side of the base. All the defenses on that side are down. We've only got a couple of cannons and those flame towers left. I've already taken care of most of the resources. We've only got about a few thousand in oil. Actually, that's also taken care of now. So all in all, a pretty good attack. We've got most of the resources and we can move on. A great way to start off. We ended up with about 250,000 in resources, and we got 5 ratings as well. So exactly what I was looking from that base. So moving on to this next one, basically you can see that most of the units, the buildings are within 3 compartments, including one large one. So these are always great bases to attack because you don't have a lot of walls to get through, so units don't end up spending time breaking those down. The walls on the outside, at least on the top, are pretty low level. They're level 1 and level 2, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. Again, I brought in a bunch of pyros. This time I brought in 8 with me. So I'm just trying to change up my army and see what works out. And hopefully when we get to level command center level 7, I can start upgrading these troops again and use them up even more. So what I'm gonna do is start picking off some of these buildings on the outside and drop a few gunners and take care of that flame tower at the top. So he's got 2 of his area damage units, the flame tower and the mortar, right next to each other, and my pyros were able to bring those down pretty easily. As you guys can see, again, they do a lot of damage even at level 3, so I'll be pretty excited when they get to level 4 and level 5. So what I did was use those wall breakers to try to create a path into the center of the base. It looks like most of the gold on that base should be on that storage on that bottom right. So what I'm gonna do is try to bring that mortar down as well, take care of some more of those defenses, and then start using some wall breakers on that bottom right side to try and take care of those oil rigs and that gold storage. So we go over about 2 minutes left. Most of the gold is still on the base. And I think I can go ahead and start using those wall breakers to create a path for my spies to start getting in and attack that gold storage. Alright, so now that we're working on that, it looks like the command center should be down in a few seconds, and we have our first star. We're at 45% now, and we should be able to get to 50 and take 2 stars from this base. We already got all that gold that there was. There's still a few oil rigs and storages left, but I don't really have any more units in my army left. So we can just go ahead and surrender this base. We got exactly what I came here to get from this base, 100,000 gold, and we can move on to the next one. So this is another great base layout to attack. As you guys can see, there's a couple of spawn points left open within the base. So what I'm gonna do here is just start off with testing them out. I'm just gonna drop 1 spy on each of them, and as you guys can see, they were rigged with dynamites and bombs. So anytime you see this kind of base, it's definitely a good one to attack, but you want to try them out first just to see there's no traps or bombs before you drop in a whole bunch of units and get them all killed. So it's a pretty easy base to attack. As you guys can see, the defenses are pretty low level. The walls are also only level 1, not that you needed to get through them. So I just wanted to quickly show you guys this one. I did end up getting 3 stars on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip through this one now that I've shown it to you guys, and we can move. So this is another great base layout. As I said, time you find a base with all or most of the buildings within 1 compartment, it's definitely one you guys should go for. And there's a bunch of resources as well, close to 150,000. So this time I brought in a whole bunch of pyros, about 8 of them again, and this strategy seems to be working pretty well for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop in my my gunners, most of them at the same time. The good thing about a base like this is your defensive buildings are all within 1 compartment, so your army doesn't have to go through a bunch of walls to get to them, and they should be pretty easy to bring down. So I'm gonna just keep dropping in a bunch of units from time to time, and they should be able to take care of those defenses, and then I can start dropping in my spies as well. This way I keep collecting the resources, and also this way my pyros or riflemen don't spend time on the oil rigs and instead go for the defenses. As you guys can see, we've collected pretty much all of the resources. There's about 20,000 oil left. Most of the defensive buildings are down. We only got 1 flame tower left, so I'm worried that it might be able to stop me from getting 3 stars. But I've got enough units in my army left, and I'm gonna just go ahead and drop all of them into the base, and hopefully they can take care of the rest of the units left. So looks like that pyro tower will be going down, and we should be able to get 3 stars on this base. So that was a pretty neat one. We ended up with 147,000 in resources and 3 stars. So moving on to this next one, we've got a whole bunch of resources. As you guys can see, I missed out that my gold storage was almost to the max at 1.4 million. So even if I end up collecting all the resources from this base, I'm gonna lose about 100,000 gold, which will just go to waste. But anyway, so moving on to the base, basically just gonna start from the bottom. I went ahead and dropped in a bunch of gunners to take care of that watchtower there, and we're going to try to move up through the base and basically get to those gold storages while taking care of the defenses as well. So this guy had a bunch of units, a few riflemen in his clan HQ as well. There's not that many though, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna go ahead and keep dropping my wall breakers and my riflemen. So now that my gunners are in, they're gonna start taking care of that mortar. I'm also gonna start dropping some more pyros and follow that up with a few spies as well. This way I can definitely take care of that gold storages, both of them at the same time. It looks like most of the resources are in the one on the right. My units have already taken down both of them now, and hopefully we can get to 50% on this one. So now all my units are deployed. I did actually miss out on those oil storages. I didn't see that they were on the top, and I ended up dropping my the rest of my spies and wall breakers at the bottom. This way they got killed by that flame tower and that watchtower at the top, and I wasn't really able to touch the gold at all. So definitely, if you guys are attacking, make sure you guys check out the base layout and see where all the storages and all the resources are. We've still got a rifleman left on the base. It's working on that. I think there's a couple of them actually. They're working on that command center, and I think we have enough time for them to bring that down and get us that second star. So I'm just gonna go ahead and speed this up for you guys, and hopefully we can get through that as well. Alright, that's great. We've got the second star and we can go ahead and surrender. We got 200,000 in resources. Most of it just gold. I did miss out on that oil, but it's alright. So moving back to base, we've got enough gold to start working on that command center 7. We've got the new base set up, and hopefully this defensive layout will work out for me, at least until I get to the next level and start working on that again. It'll be great to get those walls and start working on my base again. They should help make my defense a little better. We're gonna get another rally point as well, which is great, so I can start upgrading and increase the size of my army. And definitely excited about getting those def drones. Finally they're here, and we're gonna see how they work and what kind of damage they can do on defense. So that should pretty much do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up or subscribe if you enjoyed watching my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.